Special needs parent admin. You can't focus on the best day. I think Elin should qualify for this, but it's really difficult to get on. But we got declined. Jesus Christ on a bicycle. So thank you so much for putting this together. As for the CHC referral, I think we can make more of her risk at injuring herself due to the spasms and high tone and the importance of positioning. Medicine-wise, she is no longer on Keppra, but she doesn't have a different medicine for her seizures yet. So we have a massive increase in day-to-day seizure activity. No further treatment offered, still under investigation. We need to add that she vomits blood whenever she goes into the cycles. That's all I can think of in terms of that for now. Thank you for your help and send. All right. Whew. Special needs parent admin. Hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. Here's the thing, right? I want to enjoy my daughter. I want to focus on everything that is good and wonderful and positive. I want to record it when she's laughing her head off in the car because she enjoys the music. Or when she's laughing at Alice because Alice is making silly noises. I want to record when she melts into me and growls softly because she's so happy. You know, these are the things that I want to think of. But whenever you are pushing for more support, you can't focus on the best day. You have to focus on the worst day. And sometimes even that is not enough. So when you apply for DLA, Disability Living Allowance, all your answers have to be based on what's the worst day. And the same when you're applying for care funding and that kind of stuff, when you're trying to get medicines and treatment, it's the worst day. What is the worst day? How bad does it get? Talk about that. And I hate it. Now we are in the process of once again, for the second time, applying for continuing healthcare. I think Elin should qualify for this, but it's really difficult to get on. And last year, I think it was 5 days deep in the worst day, writing up this application, putting down evidence, explaining what's going on. It was just beyond hard. It was so difficult. And it really brings me down. Because yes, it is that hard. It is that hard. It absolutely 100% is that hard to look after my child. It is. She is tough. But if I focus on that, then I don't have the strength to do what she needs. So I have to focus on the positives, because that's what gives me the energy to deal with the negatives. Does that make sense? But we got declined. It was just turned down. It was turned down with there is no appeals process. Oh my God, I was so frustrated. And now we're trying again. And this time I'm not the one writing the document or the application. Thankfully, somebody is helping me with that. But I still have to review it. And I still have to add evidence to it. And so I have just spent a very unhappy time this morning reading through this application. Whew! Jesus Christ on a bicycle. So, for example, Elin is regularly hospitalized and requires oxygen intervention to maintain safe SATS levels. When she requires hospitalization due to medicine-resistant seizures, one of the many effects these seizures has on her is uncontrollable vomiting, which results in aspiration pneumonia and dangerously dipping SATS levels. After Elin's first hip surgery, double osteotomy on pelvis and thigh bones to create a hip joint and give her back mobility and reduce her pain levels and to reset a severely dislocated hip joint, Elin had a big tonic clonic seizure, which resulted in vomiting and a severe case of aspiration pneumonia. Elin's breathing was so bad it was unsafe to airlift her to Great Ormond Street Hospital. For several hours, 2 physiotherapists were working on her with chest physio to keep her breathing, while she had nasal oxygen as well as a bagged oxygen mask, both running at 100% each, during which time her oxygen saturation stayed below 80% and she was taking 16 breaths per minute. The last 24 hours have been really rough. And I mean really, really rough. She has struggled with spasms and pain and seizures, and now she's struggling with her oxygen saturation. She has a lot of phlegm build-up in her lungs, which is really bad, and when she's not on a nebulizer, she's on this high flow nasal oxygen thing. She remained in intensive care for 2 weeks and required 2 different courses of antibiotics tailored to the bacterial cultures taken from her aspirates. I mean, I was there. I was there. I was in that room when that was going on. I was with her in hospital for 3 weeks. It was 2 weeks in intensive care and another week at a normal ward to recover. And this is not what I want to focus on. Elin is nil by mouth and relies on her gastrostomy for all nutritional intake. Elin's growth is extremely slow and she is failing to thrive. This is an issue we've been dealing with her entire life since she was weaned off breastfeeding. She is currently on a combination of blended diet and the calorie supplement for teeny, but due to trial, just blended diet. However, she vomits every day, most days excessively, and despite a large enough calorie intake, she doesn't keep enough food down to grow as she should. Every time Elin's in hospital with seizures and vomiting, she is unable to tolerate any food or fluids in her stomach. All her fluid and medicine needs are met through IV, and it takes several days before she can tolerate anything through her feeding tube, and often a couple of weeks before she's once again up to the calorie intake she needs. And inevitably she loses weight every time this happens. Elin is unable to move in a way typical for her age and is cared for in a limited number of positions due to risk of physical harm, loss of muscle tone and tissue viability. She is rarely able to communicate basic needs, requirement or ideas. Elin has next to no communication. The little she has is through facial expressions and vocalizations, which include screaming. And it is entirely up to the people caring for Elin to interpret this, which requires extensive experience with Elin and her moods. Elin cannot communicate her emotional needs in any way other than crying and screaming, during which time she will hold her breath until she desats and starts going blue. She will make herself vomit, she will bite her lips until they bleed, and she stiffens, spasms, and flails in a manner that makes it dangerous to hold her and often results in hurting both her and whoever cares for her. Elin does not know how to self-regulate her mood, and it takes hours to help her calm down and reach a better mental state. And then we have ambulance rides, and we have in-hospital medicine protocols, and Now I appreciate that there is a limited budget, but I don't care. I don't care. I know that my child needs more support than she is given. I know that she needs more medical treatment than she is currently given. And I don't give a shit about budget deficiencies and NHS waiting lists. And I don't give a shit. The one thing I give a shit about is my daughter. The one thing I care about is that my child is happy, comfortable, and gets to live the best life that she can and have the best time that she can. That's what I care about. Then I have to spend time and effort and energy on proving that she is as disabled as she is. I really want you guys to know that this life of being a special needs family, being a special needs child, being a special needs mom, this life isn't that hard. It isn't that disastrous. You know, you don't have to walk around and feel sorry for us, or if you are in this boat with us, hi, you don't have to walk around feeling sorry for yourself. Like, I want you to know that you can cope with this. You have got the strength to deal with this, and this life has beauty and joy and amazing memories and fantastic times, and you know, you're gonna be so in love, and you're gonna be so proud, and you're gonna be so happy. Like, yes, the hard times are really, really hard, but then the good times are so enormously precious. Oh, wow. Oh, anybody else crying? Anyways, I have an emotional support cat on my lap, which is very, very helpful. Oh my God, you're so cute. What would I do without you? I don't want to move. I have to move. I'm gonna wet my seat if I don't move, because I rather need to use the facilities. Do we call them facilities in our own homes? And I need to get my MacBook so I can start editing. And I should probably have some breakfast because it's already 9:20. But I don't want to move. I do not, because you're freaking adorable. Oh.